Hey guys, Mr. Huddleston here, broadcasting from a new Huddleston Studios, my new house, new office coming together, still not much over. So anyways, this is our last week of school, and I have one last science challenge for you, one last activity for you to do, and it's kind of it can be however long as you want it to be a science project, and you're going to report your results back to me next year. Because guess what? If you haven't heard before, you guys are all having me again next year, dun, 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 for sixth grade science and social studies. So yeah, if you haven't heard, I'm moving up with you guys to sixth grade. So I will be there however the beginning of the school year looks like, eagerly awaiting your results. So this is like a hands-on scientific observation. It's one of the basic ones that I usually do each spring with the class, but it'll be up to you to do it. And this is going to be a backyard bug survey. So you're going to be searching for any and every kind of crawly thing that may or may not be in your backyard. If you live in an apartment or a place without a yard, see if you can use something nearby. Even apartments sometimes have a little green space where people like to barbecue, or maybe get permission from another family member of a place you can go to. You don't need a lot of space for this, but you should check with them because it does require some digging of holes. So I will have the document attached as well with this and with instructions. So you basically will need 1 to 2 different things. And it can be as complex or different as you choose to be. So one is you need some cups. Okay, you can use small paper cups, or you can use these plastic cups like this. These tend to be a little bit more hardy and they will last longer, but you are going to have to dig deeper holes. If you had a smaller plastic cup, that probably would be ideal. Or you can use a small Dixie cup. The problem with these is sometimes they'll start to deteriorate and fall apart, especially in the rain. We've had a very rainy June. You can use real cups, but you might lose them. Then it's also hard to for the one step you have to do for poking holes in the bottom. So the reason you poke holes in the bottom is, well, it rains. It rains in Washington. It's been raining a lot this beginning of summer in June. And so that way you don't create a drowning trap for your bugs. You want your bugs to be alive. You want to observe and find what bugs you have. And always being careful. You know, some bugs can bite and sting you, but we don't really have any dangerous bugs around here. So you're pretty safe. Just make sure, you might not want to touch it with your bare hands. So what you want to do, in case it does rain, and in Washington it's very likely to rain, is you want to poke a hole in the bottom. So make sure you get adult supervision for this part. You can use scissors. You can use like a box cutter knife, like what I'm using. These things tend to be the easiest. And you just want to put a tiny little hole or a tiny triangle, because you don't want them to escape, but you also don't want water to fill up. So I like to and always make sure you're not cutting towards yourself. You can just put a little tiny slot in the bottom of your cup, even if you're just poking a hole, or you can always puncture a hole. I like to just make a little triangle shape. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see that. There you go. And so I did 2 lines and my third line right across, and there you go. Again, you should check with an adult, or even have an adult do this, especially these plastic cups are really hard. And then I just have a little tiny triangle like that, so water can drain out. And the paper ones are going to be easy, but they won't last as long in the rain. Boom, little hole. And the idea is you're going to go to different spots, and if you have like a nice hand shovel, that'll become real handy to find. And you're going to just think about maybe where you might come across bugs, or it can just be a plain yard. And again, if you're maybe your dad or grandparents have like the perfect lawn and they don't want you to dig holes in your lawn, then don't do it. Respect them, or maybe find a spot. Sometimes you can find a mole hole and use it there, because they've already messed up the lawn. So don't mess up anyone's lawn if you do this. Especially near trees is a good spot where a lot of bugs and creepy crawlies like to be. So you want to dig a hole and place the cup down into the hole so it's level with the surface. And that's basically the experiment, but here's where you can start to add things. You're going to have different spots, and you might want to record them or name them, like cup by the big tree in the yard, cup by my swing set, cup by mom's roses. And again, smaller cups have less of an impact. Now here's where you can start to do some different things, is you can put some different things in the cup that might attract some creepy crawlies there, and maybe see what different things attract different bugs. That's classic. But always leave one as a control with nothing in it to see even if the different bait even mattered. So maybe you have, especially check the kitchen for old food items that aren't being used anymore, apples, potatoes, old veggie scraps, but just put one of one type in each container and record it. And then you can see maybe which one's more popular, which maybe you found more beetles came and were attracted to one kind, or you found ants in another one. Maybe you can put a little bit of sugar in the bottom. Anything you have laying around the house. I would avoid things like bread, though, because it can mold really easy. And maybe another animal might come along and eat it, other things. I would keep it really small. You can just dice stuff up. And potato and apple, I know, works pretty well because it takes a while for it to break down. And so it's something in your cup that's relatively inoffensive. So if you get weird and put like cheese and things like that, it can get really nasty, and that's up to you. But again, you don't want to create a nice, gross mess with bugs all around in it. And what you want to do is check it as much as you can. I would check it every day or even twice a day. Depends, the summer, you might have a lot of time on your hands. Or if you miss a couple days, just record that. So check, you could write in, all right, I checked it June 30th, July 3rd, and this is what I found. I found 3 ants, 4 beetles, 1 millipede. I found nothing, and record that and bring that. So if you actually do this, not only will you have my respect and admiration, I will have something for you. I will come up with some sort of prize for the students who not only do this, but record and report the results to me next fall. So maybe I'll do like a candy bar or some sort of prize for you for doing this. So this is your final science experiment before you go to 6th grade. Okay. I will also have written instructions for you. Good luck. Good to see you guys, and I will see you next year.